name is Karina and welcome to the Karina Chronicles. Today we're doing my own Zodiac Sign Book Tag and we're doing this for the Zodiac sign Libra. And I'm very excited because there are many good books on this list. So let's start. I've been doing this Zodiac Sign Book Tag for over half a year now. And every month I do the current Zodiac sign and have 10 prompts that I created myself that are loosely based on Zodiac signs. I don't really think they are very well. I had a great discussion with a subscriber about this because he has a very different view on what fits which Zodiac sign, and I really liked the discussion, but for me it doesn't have that much value which Zodiac sign has what kind of character traits or anything like that. It just makes for a fun inspiration to get your prompts from and to recommend you some books that I do like but often forget to talk about. And there are actually quite some of those on this list today. So then it's working, right? So let's quickly start with this. Starting off with the first one for Libra, that's always, what's the first book that comes to mind when you're thinking of the current Zodiac sign being Libra? And Libra has like this picture of a scale. And the first book that came to mind is a book that has on the cover the picture of a scale. I read it as an ebook, so I will put a picture on the screen. But it is The Advocate by Teresa Burrell. And this is a detective, kind of. And the advocate is kind of the investigator. And well, I actually liked this book. If I now should tell you what it is about, I have no clue anymore. But it was fun and a light little detective, and this series is apparently very big. The Advocate is like the first of a 15-part series or something and still continuing. And I like that. I will continue reading some more of this series, and I think there are a lot of people that actually like to sometimes just read something that reads fast but you want to know the ending, and a murder mystery or a detective in this case is always very suitable for that. So if you're looking for something like that, choose The Advocate. And it has a scale on the cover, so Libra made me think of that. The next prompt is always to find a character that has the same main character traits as a Libra or any other zodiac sign would have. And for Libra, those are irresistible, adventurous, and indecisive. And of course, I also don't know what traits per specific zodiac sign are. I just got this from Google. I have this one picture and it says traits for every zodiac sign, and I use that one. And to have like corresponding zodiac signs so that I won't say the same traits over and over again. And they said that these are the 3 main traits of a Libra. And I think someone that has the same traits is Selena from Throne of Glass. Selina. Anyway, irresistible she is. Everyone seems to love this special little snowflake. So at least that is true. Adventurous is also true, as she is an assassin. And well, she doesn't like to stay on the sidelines. She wants to participate in everything. And indecisive, there is a love triangle here, some kind of. So definitely indecisive. Just choose who you're going to be with, right? So I do think that Selina from Throne of Glass is a perfect Libra in this case. The next question is to recommend you a book from an author that is a Libra themselves. And One of those authors is Alice Oseman, so I could recommend to you Heartstopper, and this is volume 1. I've only just read volume 1 and I adored this. This is a comic novel. Look, there are very pretty pictures in here. A coming of age story. It's taking place at high school. 2 boys that meet each other and fall in love, and it is so cute. And it has a Netflix series that I still need to watch, but I first want to read the 2nd volume because the series is about the first 2 volumes. But love this. Really love this. And Alice Oseman is a Libra, so that's why I'm recommending this book today. The next recommendation is for the color of the zodiac sign, and the color for Libra is pink, so I could recommend a pink book. Next week on Wednesday, I am going to do a full recommendation video on pink books. So this book will probably be in there, although I think I decided to leave this one out, but I'm not sure yet. Otherwise it would be 3 videos in a row that I recommend this book, because last video on Wednesday was all about this book, and it is Where the Crawdads Sing by Delia Owens. If you want to know my opinion about this book, check out my latest video on Wednesday, because I was then discussing what I thought about the book and also about the movie adaptation that just came out. Overall, I recommend both, so I would recommend this one as well. And maybe it's in my next video as well, if I don't find enough other pink books. Then a book for the gemstone that fits the zodiac sign Libra, and the gem is opal. And opal is such a beautiful white stone, very pretty. So I decided to recommend to you Stardust by Lisa Price, because I don't own any book that is this white and I couldn't think of anything else. This is a dystopian novel, and well, it is quite creepy. It made me think, well, actually another book made me think of that book being Amaranth by Emily Ahrens, made me really think of this book. And it's about people donating their bodies, or actually people can borrow other bodies if they want to be younger again, or another gender, or prettier than they find themselves. And people that need money, they sell their own bodies for this. But then things go wrong. And it's actually quite nice. It's a duology, and I'm going to read Anders semi-soon. I don't think I will read it this year still, but in the beginning of 2023 definitely. So curious to see how this will end. For the next prompt, I want to recommend a book to you that has the element of the current zodiac sign, and the element of a Libra is air. And a book that made me think of air is Het Hart van de Adelaar by Emily Ahrens, because it is about an eagle and that is flying through air, right? I have to admit that the eagle is of course a metaphor in this, but because both the book and the cover really represent this eagle, I was like, yes, this book fits perfectly to the prompt air. And also the main character, her last name is Sky. So I don't know, I think this fits perfectly. It is about a girl, Joanna, and she is, well, she has magic and she abducted for this magic, and she's trying to escape and see what she wants to do with her magic. This is a fake description, but I think you should read it. I don't want to spoil anything. I always find that the hardest part, to tell what you like about a story without spoiling too much, because there are quite some twists in here and I'm scared to reveal some. So just read the book. It is nice. The next book I'm so happy I can finally recommend again, because I don't do that often enough. I wanted to recommend a book that made me think of autumn, and because of the cover and also a little bit because of the story, I'm recommending you Circe by Madeline Miller. And this is, up till now, the favorite book I've read this year. I have to admit, it's going a little bit... It's battling in my head with some other new favorites I read. But I think that's mostly because from Cersei, I expected to love it so much. And from the other favorites I read, they were a big surprise. So in my head, they are like the big surprises of 2022. And Cersei is not a big surprise, but I still love this story so incredibly much. Really read this, especially when you love Greek mythology, because it is, of course, about Kirke, Cersei. She's kind of a witch, you could say. And in the Greek mythology, she is usually used as a side character and not a very kind one. And this story is from her perspective, and it's so cool. It's so cool. She is the daughter from the sun god Helios, so yeah, highly recommend this to you. The next recommendation is always a little bit weird. I put on the screen a song list, a playlist that the Astro Poets wrote in their book for this zodiac sign. It's a book that I've read, and they recommend songs for every zodiac sign. And for Libra, they recommended these songs that I just put on the screen. And the song that stuck out to me was Being Always on Time. And I don't really know why, but I suddenly really thought of The Last Magician by Lisa Maxwell. And I found out that I don't think I've ever talked about this book on BookTube, but it's really good. It's the first part of a series, and it's about magic and time traveling. And especially the time traveling part made me think of the song, or the song made me think of this, because they travel in time to steal things or to adjust things a little bit, and they need to go back in time. They need to be back in time because otherwise things get wrong. And of course, as you know, with time traveling, you can't change too much because then people suddenly don't exist, or you know, so they need to be back in time because otherwise things go wrong. And it's so good. It's about a thief and time traveling, and really like this book. Actually got it for free at a festival, and I was so surprised. So good. And then I always recommend to you a book that a friend or a family member told me is their favorite book of all time. And I'm recommending today the Book of Bethlehem. A very good friend of mine, but I actually didn't really have to ask her the question. I did, but she made Harry Potter her whole life. I met her, and when she was wearing Harry Potter clothes, I think she had a lot of wands with her. Her everything that she used also on social media was she called herself Potter, and it was just her identity. I think that has changed since J.K. Rowling is being horrible, but you can't find a book that had such an impact on her as this book, being Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. I think another part of this series is actually her favorite, but it didn't have that much of an impact. So this is just it. And I am going to reread this book. Definitely. I was already planning on doing this like in 2023 after I've read all the Game of Thrones books, which I only need one more for. I was going to reread the Harry Potter books. So I'm also going to read this one to just show Bethlehem that she is probably right and this is a very good book. So yeah, happy to have such a good recommendation. And then the last book, I just always recommend a random science fiction book or a book taking place in space. And I've already recommended The Three-Body Problem by Cixin Liu, but I also now want to recommend The Redemption of Time by Bao Xu. And this is an addition to the original series by Cixin Liu, the Remembrance of Earth's Past trilogy. And this is an addition by another author, but it is approved by Cixin Liu himself, and it fills all the holes and open plot things. that were left after you read the series. And the writing style is slightly less good, but being able to read again in this universe and seeing all these things that you wanted to have seen already in the series makes up for it a lot. So I don't think a lot of people know this book exists, so I wanted to recommend it. If you've read the Remembrance of Earth trilogy, please read this book as well. It is great. And not as thick and chunky and intimidating, so that's also great. And that was actually it. I really hope you liked this video. Please leave down in the comments below if you have read any of these books and if you are as excited about them as I am. I am excited to do this Zodiac Sign Book Tag again next month. If you like this, please leave a like, and if you subscribe to my channel and click the notification bell, you will be notified whenever I post a new video. I hope you'll have a lovely day filled with books, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye! I keep being surprised how many different titles I can recommend in these videos. It's so much fun that every time I see another prompt that sparks a new recommendation from my mind. I hope I could interest you for some of these books.